Right, we're live. Let's just sort this out quick.
Grab a drink.
Yeah, go for it, go for it. Okay, good morning, good morning. How's everyone doing on the YouTube today? We'll wait for a few more people to join. Remember guys, we got pound news coming up at 7 a.m. so be very, very careful. Okay, we'll wait about 5 more minutes and then we're gonna make a start. Right. Okay. Let's start the stream. Right, so we're looking at pound yen over here. Right, let's take a look at the Forex factory. So yeah, like Freddie just said, we've got plenty of news here this morning. We've got pound news at 7 a.m. We've got GBP news monthly. We've got construction output, industrial production, manufacturing production. So we've got a heavy amount of news coming in for 7 a.m. right? So they're expecting, in terms of GDP, you know, positive numbers. So they're expecting GDP to have grown from a monthly basis. So I'd say that's going to be obviously good for the pound. However, from a technical standpoint, I'm not going to be trading when there's news, right? So for me, you know, we're going to have to wait for the first part of 7 a.m. to, you know, sort itself out, and then we can, you know, take a look into further upside. So the bias on GJ is definitely bullish. If we remove all drawings here, just looking on a daily time frame, I'd say what's happening now is similar to what basically has occurred over here, right, over here, and I think the same thing is going to occur over here. So based off of that, I think today we should see a push back into this zone, something that I was just previously talking about before the stream. So you know where we are now, you know, if we look, daily's got no bottom wick. This looks like we're leaving this zone to push up now. Where the next area of interest is going to be this like 151 level, right? We can definitely come up and do the wick fill as well previously, and I think at least tap into this vicinity here, right? I think that's where we're at least coming today, from a daily standpoint on GJ. So that's just looking at it from a daily perspective. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. So looking at the 4 hour, obviously we can already see how price is, you know, trying to move bullish, right? Obviously we got a 4 hour resistance level at 157.20, which is also our Asian high. So I think it makes more sense, you know, to obviously look for buys above that area, and then I think at that point we should see a move up into this next zone around 159.00, and then moving on to around 151. So I think that would be a pretty solid move. Looking on the 1 hour, obviously we're trying to break up already. That's perfectly fine. We have resistance here as well. We also have, yeah, so in terms of buys, we're gonna obviously need to wait for the news to do its thing first. Even if we close above and there's news, yeah, we may run, but at that point we have to wait for some form of a support to form. So let's put our drawings back for a sec. So obviously, yeah, we got Asian highs are right over here. This is obviously our most recent resistance. We got pre-London support over here as well. Right, at 6 a.m. we got pre-London support created, which is good. We've got Asian lows down over here. So in terms of, you know, for price to continue bullish, it does not mean that we can't pull back. You know, that doesn't mean we can't pull back to your pre-London support. It does not mean we can't pull back to Asian low before driving back up again, right? Because we know that price has done heavy pullbacks before we've gone very bullish, right? We know that. So yeah, in terms of, you know, if there was no news, I probably would have been in buys from 6 a.m, right, expecting this to break and then us to continue moving up. But since we have news here today, I don't think it made sense to be in those buys just coming into half an hour before the news. So because then obviously if we do pull back to support, whatever. The other thing as well is obviously if we don't, let's say we don't incorporate the news for 7 a.m, like let's say there's no reaction in the market, right? Then we know that, okay, maybe that news is going to be absorbed at 8 a.m, and 8 a.m should give us a nice push. So let's say 7 closes above, and you know, we're all thinking, oh yeah, no buys, but then we pull back and everyone's like, oh, but news was good. It's like, okay, well, maybe, you know, maybe, what's it called? 8 a.m. London Open, it's going to absorb that news. So currently just going to wait over here. If there was, like I say, if there was no news and this candle closed above, yeah, I'll be looking for further upside. But at the same time, we do have news, so we have to think about that for a sec as well. So we got 5 minutes left.
Yeah, I mean, this whole area between 700, 800 is going to be quite difficult as it is like the high time frame, like a zone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, once you start getting supports above Asian highs, though, I think.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, we should smash through it. Yeah, see, the thing is, if we didn't have news, I probably would have agreed with what we were saying just before the stream about, having buys from here to break out. But for me, I don't think it kind of makes sense just yet. We're at 4 hour level as well. Yeah, it looks like we could smash through it, and then we should fill this wick. But at the same time, we know that most of the time there's going to be a pullback, especially if the news isn't like absorbed. But I'm quite happy to let it make a high, whatever, see if we can get a retracement for 8 a.m. and then a nice continuation when we really know what is coming in for news,
Yeah, that one bearish candle ain't going to be the pullback for the session.
Yeah, no, this isn't even a pullback because this isn't even pre-London pullback yet. So since London, we've just been moving bullish.
Yeah, it's just initial reaction as we come into this level.
Yeah, we just got to wait over here. Good morning. So yeah, what would be really nice, obviously, if we can get a close above here, 7 a.m. Let's say news isn't incorporated with 7 a.m. or we push up to here, pull back, like you say, form support, and then continue. Would be solid. Because if we got 4 hour resistance right here, then obviously we're trying to break above. But I think based on the news, I think it makes sense to hold on. Got like 3 minutes. Right, I'm gonna leave it on the 15-minute time frame so we can see the reactions. So what's good is we're obviously making a high above our session now. So we will see.
It's weird, isn't it? Because like most of the GBP news is like yellow folder, but it actually normally does move quite a bit.
What's that, mate? Sorry?
I was saying like most of the pound news is like quite normally yellow folder, but then it still moves quite a bit.
Yeah, that's
It's
the thing.
unusual.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. You can never be sure if it's gonna make a huge move or not.
No, that's true. Oh, look at this. Right, I'm hoping that the news will give us a pullback and then we can continue. Oh, here we go. Oh, look at this.
Oh man.
Damn. Yeah, this is what news is dodgy. But this could be a retest to continue higher. Yeah, news is coming in now. Let's have a look. Let's see what the news is saying. Let's take a look. Oh, it's not coming up. So manufacturing was good. Industrial services was good. Index services was good. Trade balance was, don't know, GDP. GDP is the main one. Yeah, I'm gonna let this, let the news be absorbed for us for a sec. Oh, news was slightly bad, slightly worse, but I think it's still positive in the grand scale of things. So this could just be a liquidity grab from a 5-minute perspective. Because now we have a 1 hour closing above, we have a 30-minute candle closing above Asian highs. I think let's wait for the first 5-minute candle, because if we can let the first 5-minute candle even come back in the range, and then we start to see potentially support being formed, we could look to take buys with stops below pre-London support to continue. But we just want to make sure that this isn't the pullback. Oh yeah, look at that. That's why I was a little bit skeptical about having buys before the news, but there you go. So was there any other good news, or oh, I think the trade balance wasn't very good. The trade balance wasn't good at all. Maybe that's what it is as well.
Yeah, trade balance is quite important.
Yeah. But if I see this 15-minute candle closing above Asian high, I think I'm gonna get in those buys there. Just want to see how the first few minutes sets up.
Yeah, we might be retesting the 1 hour level at like 660.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, because if we actually close above, then we know this was just a liquidity. This was just news pulling back. I got in when candle closed a very small lot. Just went to gamble a little bit. Well, that's up to you. So yeah, I mean, it's up to you. One hour. Yeah, I see what you're saying. 1 hour level. What does PLS mean? PLS means pre-London support. That's what it means. So one of the things I've been looking at, been testing out for the last couple of months, is these kind of levels here. Pre-London support levels, Asian levels. They made such a difference to what I was seeing happening. So
Yeah, like you were saying, you put your stops below pre-London support, you feel confident that we're not going to come back down there.
No, we shouldn't be coming back down there, no, because then we'd be breaking 1 hour support, etc. The 4 hour would be breaking its own low, etc. But I think a little bit more patience here today will give us an opportunity. But I think you know, if like I said, if there was no news, we know that we would have been in those buys, and then, you know, we could have already potentially taken profits. But again, you know, because you'd be looking to push up to the actual 4-hour level, which is at like here, where we basically just got to now. But I think, let's see how the first 5-minute closes. If I get a 5-minute candle closing back above, I think that would be solid. I'm gonna start looking for, because obviously what we don't want is for this 15-minute candle to like retrace completely and then you just aimlessly take a buy. It doesn't really make sense. You know, realistically, the next 5-minute candle isn't going to retrace the whole candle and then push it bullish. You know, realistically, the next 5-minute candle's, you know, going to close either back above or it's going to close bullish. One of the two things, you know. But obviously, you want to be careful that this isn't, you know, you don't want to be just aimlessly buying because this is the news, because that might not even be much of the news absorbed. You know, really, 7 pips, is that news? No, you tell me. Oh. Man, I'm sore. Super sore. Man, but it felt great to get back down the gym yesterday. Tell you.
Just getting out of the house, innit?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a lot of, there's a pub opposite my gym. It was absolutely rammed.
Yeah. One of my mates was out yesterday. He said he was driving past all these hairdressers and people just queuing outside.
Yeah, trust me, I heard that too. Yeah, I heard that too. It's good stuff, man. 5 minutes setting up nice. If we can get it closing back above like 157.10, I'll be in buys. Or as if let's say this candle closes bullish but we're still below and the next one starts to exceed that candle there, I think that's where I could. And then once we hit that kind of level there, I'll go break even and then look to secure at like 150, 900, 151 key level. That's my plan. Because based on the 4 hour, I'd love to see more. I'd love to see this area get tapped, which is around, you know, like 151's a bit higher up, but obviously 150, 900 is where I'd be looking to take first profit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it should get hit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I won't be getting off a 5 minute yet. Don't think I'm at that level.
Okay. Yeah, no, fair enough.
Closes today.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I just wanted to, you know, because obviously in terms of the news, you know, I'm gonna let the first 5 to 10 minutes absorb. You know, if we're basically gonna be still pulling back a bit more, then that's fine. Otherwise, you know, I'm expecting that since the news has kind of been, well, you know, market's trying to absorb news right now, and if we form support, then I know that okay, market's absorbed. I just don't want to be I don't want to have a trade open before news, for me personally. But I think you could have maybe had a buy in early and then just have break even for the news in case it did pull back. But it's something I'm going to consider for next time.
was actually looking on the 4 hour close, and I was like, you could get a buy based off that.
Oh
Just
yeah,
expected
100%.
750 to break, but yeah, I didn't take it in the end.
No.
Yeah, you wouldn't be wrong to get in if it does, because chances are now, if we're not going to come down, we're going to go back up after we've already closed by Asian highs. So
The thing is, not right now. I know we
Nah.
formed support on the 5, but I'm gonna wait for it to probably surpass that previous
Okay.
5-minute bearish candle.
Yeah.
As we start to surpass that, I'll take the buy for price to continue. So it's basically when the 15-minute candle flips, basically. Because what I don't want is because this 5-minute candle basically closed in here, if this one decides to wick up a little bit and then start driving down, we could have the overall 30-minute falling to pre-London support based on the news. But obviously I know if we start to surpass this candle here, then we should start moving further up at that point. So yeah, that's basically what I'm looking for right now. What's everyone else in the YouTube planning? Anyone got any charts, anything they want to send in? I think it's fighting. Yeah, the other thing as well is you want to wait as well a little bit for spreads to die down from the news. What's my spreads like right now? Let's take a look.
Is there only like 0.8?
Yeah, about
0.6.
0.8, 0.9. Not bad. Yeah, see, if this 5 minutes starts breaking the low, then we could be basically coming back into this range, which is not what I wanted to see. I want to see this 5-minute candle start to push up and start surpassing 7 a.m. 5-minute, and then should be off. Should be there we go. Yeah, I got about 0.8 of a spread there.
Yeah, I'm just happy to sit out this one just to see, because I haven't really seen this situation enough, like where news has come down and then come back up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so basically I got stops below pre-London support, and then I'm anticipating from now on price to continue moving bullish. There we go. That's my trade. And then that gives me plenty of room to manage the trade as long as we stay above Asian highs, etc. Then makes sense. Right. Let's sort out partial TPs, etc. Yeah, could have waited for the 15 to close, to be fair, but I think based on where we're at now, it's going to be pretty solid. We're respecting that area. Should be sweet. So my target is 150,900.
take half of there, do you reckon?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking to do. Yeah. Right. Yeah, and then I'm looking to go break even. Looking to go break even once we start breaking above like 158.20, etc. So as long as this 15 can close pretty strong, I'll be happy with that.
Quite nice because you still got the next 15 minute
Yeah,
on the
decent
30.
close. Yeah, decent close.
Yeah.
1 hour's now made a bottom wick, which is good. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think we should continue bullish at this point. Obviously we haven't had a pullback, so I'm allowing for a pullback, but that's why my stops are like down over here, you know. Looking at the
Tap back into 700.
yeah, I think it should be fine. I'm trying to make this like a longer play anyway. I just wanted to wait for the news and then get my entry. But really, I wanted to be in somewhere over here, you know.
Thing is, I was looking at the 15 minute close and I was like, it's just not, even though it's closed back above, kind of created a support, it's just the stops where I've put them. And the new just coming in at 45, so
Yeah, I know.
just a tough one.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, then by the time the 30 closed, it was like,
Yeah.
not enough, unless you held it through these.
Yeah, I know. The thing is, yeah, this is the thing. I wanted to take buys as well on this 30-minute candle closure, and then like maybe try and like hold it through the news. But then when I look at it and I'm like, oh shit, you know, it's quite important news. That's when I thought, does it really make sense to do that? So we could see a pullback now because I know that 7:15 is a key pullback time, but I'm really expecting, you know, good continuation for the session. So as long as we respect this area, even if we come back in the range, we could see a fake out to continue. So just basically I'll base this off the 30-minute now anyway. Too much noise on the 15 to like stare at it. Okay. Is this HFX as well? In terms of what? This isn't options trading, if that's what you're referring to. This is Forex. I have buys from 0.641. Yeah, nice, off the 30 close there. Put stops to before news. Oh, put stop to BE before news. Got stop. Think it's gonna fly. Yeah, I think that's fine, mate. I think you should be sweet, personally. If you got stop to break even, I think, you know, you can start to look for potentially where to re-enter, but it's pretty good. Osma Afzal. Let's take a look for your chart, mate.
Must have been spread that got far out then, that trade.
Yeah, I got like a 0.8 spread on that. So this is pound USD. If the candle closes above the resistance, then long to next resistance. Okay, it makes sense. However, obviously you've got to consider this area right here. Right, you've got to consider that area because this area is also a resistance. You know, the other thing as well is you could see a little bit of a pullback and then a continuation at that point. So I would just say, you know, potentially look for reactions here. You may see a pullback. That might be an idea to get in if you create some support, or go with it, expect this to break, and then yeah, look to push up to there. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. I think that's fine. Just like I said, you know, just be careful of that resistance there to the left hand side. So in terms of the news, why was the trade balance really bad news? GDP was like worse than expected, but it was still good because last GDP was not very good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, today we can see a lot of wicks back into this area because remember, if we're going to try and drive up, if price really wants to try and drive up, trust me, there can be a lot of pullbacks. But I'm expecting that we should be good for the most part. Yeah. Obviously, if this candle closes bearish, this becomes our pre-London resistance, and that will be above your Asian level, which is good. But even if the 15 closes back in the range, I'm not really too concerned about that. I'm more concerned about if maybe like the 1 hour can't respect 156.60, and I'm more concerned if the 30-minute closes back deep in the range. Otherwise, yeah, it should be fine. Right, so while we're just chilling with pound yen, let's take a look at gold, because we know gold is obviously trying to move bearish over here. Ooh, that would have been a potentially good entry there. Tough from a 5-minute perspective. Gold higher time frames we're going to break down in a minute. Just want to keep an eye on pound yen over here. Make sure pound yen's all good, all sweet.
Should be good. Once it finishes like retested where it is now, it should just head up quite quick.
Yeah. I'm just pretty glad that I waited for news, to be honest, because like, you know, like previously when I got in, you know, I got in previously before news and it just absolutely ruined me.
Yeah. I mean, it happened after it happened to you, it happened to me the week after.
Yeah.
Shocker.
That's just how it goes, isn't it? Yeah, I'd like us to do something here in the last little part. This last 5-minute candle hopefully is a nice liquidity, and then if it is, we should be off. Once it breaks a certain high, we're off at that point. Because I was just looking at this 5-minute candle, the way it closed, it respected here. If this one starts to pop up and break above this previous 5-minute, we'll be off. But it needs to break above. It needs to start smashing up, respecting bullish market structure. Trust me. Okay, how Raja Rakil is making so much profits? Is he trade 24 hours? No, he doesn't trade 24 hours. He trades one session, just like me. He trades New York, and he just masters his session, you know, and that's what I'm just trying to achieve for myself, and that's what you should try and achieve for you. You know, find one session, one time of the day to trade, and just trade that one session, man. It's the best advice anyone ever gave me. I mean, when I first started trading, until I like met, you know, got involved with Raja, I was trading at just weird times of the day. Like, I'd just be not even know what time was the perfect time to trade, you know. I'm still going to hold my buys whether this 30-minute closes back in the range or not, because I'm anticipating that this 1 hour should be respected. I mean, I basically got stops below current 4 hour, so I mean, I'm going to be severely, like, it's going to be a big pullback if I'm wrong, you know. Like, we're not heading up. If we're going to break this 4 hour low, then we're coming back to Asian lows, and that's just all long. Like, I don't really want to be, do you know what I mean? So we really need to see, it really needs to push up within the next like hour, 30 minutes, whatever. But Mr. 5 minute, he didn't want to do much. Didn't want to do much at all, mate. Did you, mate? It's just annoying when you don't see a pullback, because you know that whenever you're in the trade, there's gonna be one, and you hate being in the trade when there's a pullback. But that's just how it goes, isn't it?
Yeah, stops are in a good place though.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
what you need to worry about, because then you can just still manage it accordingly.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I mean, the only cause for concern might be if, let's say, the 1 hour candle closes below like 156.60, then there's a very high chance I'll get stopped. So I'll probably close the trade and then re-enter later on. But yeah, I mean, exactly what you're saying. It's just a shame. I was really expecting once that 15 closed above that we would then volume would just continue us pumping up. But I know maybe the volume's coming in a little bit. See, beforehand I hated drawdown. You know, it was my worst thing. But now, I mean, see, you know, there's no volume because candles are just like retracing. You know, whereas these are your volume pushes. You know, to make these like higher high levels. Right. Come on, 30 minute, you can do something here today. Yeah, I think personally that what we're going to see is we're going to see this next 30 minute. So I think personally, just from what I've seen, we'll come back into this 1 hour zone, which is here, respect it, and then start doing something like this to continue up. That'll be what I'm looking for. But let's say from a 5 minute point of view, let's say like for example that we see 5 minute creating like resistance below here, it's like mid range and that 1 hour level, then it probably makes sense to close the trade, because we could tap into here and then do that, but I could get stopped and then that happened, you know. So you got to think my stops are in a very, very conservative area, but based on where we're closing, you know, there's gonna be the next candle is going to pull back, but we know that 730 gives us some good volume, which is good. So hopefully that's what, like I was just saying, that's what we'll see. So pretty much then what I'm saying is this kind of zone here should be respected. As long as we stay above here, we should continue.
Right, yeah, I think I'm looking for something probably above 800.
Yeah,
and then expect 900 to break.
That's pretty good. You can do that. That's pretty solid.
I mean, this area on 4 hours is going to be hard. We need some good volumes. Hopefully, when London Open comes in, that's what we need to push.
Yeah, I just think I'm just trying to hold my buys until that kind of happens, you know, and then expect 7:30 to continue us up. Expect 8 a.m. to continue us up. But this 30 minute really needs to close above 660, to be honest. Man, I knew I'd get caught in drawdown today. Yeah, I think as long as stops are below pre-London support, it should be good. I think like usually, you know, people will be closing their trade right now, but I mean, you know, we know that like price can easily pump straight back up with this next 30 minute, which is hopefully what's going to happen. Otherwise, man is wrong.
You thinking closing half if we get below down the 30?
I don't know. I don't know yet. Because part of me wants to just say, you know what, like at the end of the day, the bias is there, the plan was there, it's what I planned for. You know, this could be the 1 hour just doing a liquidity grab. Like there's plenty riding on it, so we'll see. I mean, that 15's a bit nasty, but I mean, yeah, we can see there's some form of liquidity generated in here, so that's probably why it's retracing to here. But I don't know, we'll see. Okay, nice. So at least it's retracing a bit. So we want this 30 minute to basically make a bottom wick first and then start to move bullish. So obviously 15 minute candle did close back in the range, right? It's breaking the 15 minute low pretty early on, which in terms of probability gives it more of a chance to come back above the range. So if we look at where the 1 hour is, we just need price to stay above this area here, and then we should continue. Because otherwise this 4 hour is going to retrace all the way to its own low and then start to pull back. Closes back inside the range, then it's a fake out. Yeah, I mean, you know, I know this is technically a fake out, but I'm expecting upside for the day. You know, that's why my stops are in a much more conservative area. So I'm pretty comfortable with holding these buys for a bit.
Yeah, it's a fake out of the way, but like you've got to think about the 1 hour level, which is still being respected right now.
Yeah, that's it. Well, this is the thing, like the amount of times I've seen like a 15 minute candle close back in the range, I'm like, oh, fake out, I close a trade and then it continues. You know what I'm saying? Plus I've changed my way, like, you know, I'm trying to look at holding trades and then managing if something doesn't go. So technically you're right, you know, technically speaking you're right, it's closed back in the range. But I know it more as, okay, well, 7:30 we could see a good amount of volume. So technically speaking, we should see this 30 minute candle go bullish back above the range. But I mean, at worst way, I think maybe if we start to break below around like 156.20, I'd start managing the trade at that point. Yeah. This 1 hour should respect this area. 4 hour. It's a very, very, yeah, it's delicate, as you say. If we start to create support on the 5 minute in here, then I'll be pretty good with that. But I don't want to be staring at it too much. Gotta let it do its thing. But this kind of pink area is like my zone that's more important to me, that's respected, to be honest. But anyway. Because like this could just be like the overall 30 minute pulling back from the news, and then I'm hoping 7:30 we know is a good time for volume. If the 7:30 candle starts breaking above like 157.55, we know that price should be off at that point. So this area here basically becomes our pre-London resistance. So notice how it's higher. It's higher than our Asian high. So the structure's bullish at that point. Basically, that's what that means. Anyone else in GJ buys, or is it just me?
I'm thinking if this candle can close back above Asian high,
Yeah, that would
maybe
be
even
pretty
above
solid.
the previous resistance we just made.
Yeah, I think if
Could
you
be
get a
good.
yeah, even like a 15-minute candle would be pretty solid. What I don't want is like resistance to be created within this area or below here. So we'll see. Because 7:30 should be a good time for volume as well. Joey's in, nice. I personally think we should be fine. I don't want to like too worry about, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like, you know, I made a conscious choice to say to myself, you know, I would take a trade, I'll put stops in a conservative area, and I would anticipate direction for that session. You know, I know that from what my data says, that, you know, 80% of the time, if I do that correctly, it's going to go my way. You know, but if I don't do that correctly, then obviously that's when I can get caught out. Because with these, there's like, I have data to support both ideas, that, you know, a closure back in the range can either stop me out, or a closure back in the range can even, you know, like, what's the word, like still continue, like the 30-minute can still pop up above and still run up. You know, it's like easily done, basically. So I mean, yeah, if that happens, then happy days. If it doesn't, then no happy days. But you know what I've just thought of, Kelsey? I think for the data collection, need to start looking at when the news happens, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, we can always go back and check. Can you like filter a date on the Forex Factory?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think as well what you can do is, like, I think basically the news is the same, I think it's the same date or same, like, space between, like, say, like, every month or every, do you know what I mean? So
Yeah, we can go through the situations, can't we?
yeah,
Yeah.
I think that'd be pretty important to look at. Yeah, 1 hour looks like it's respecting that area. Well, like, that's what we want it to do anyway. So we'll see. Let's see how this candle starts popping up. If we start coming back above 157.10, then we know we should be fine at that point. I think that was just a pullback for news. Sometimes news doesn't get absorbed in till later.
Morning, mate.
Morning, Leon. How's it going, my friend?
Not bad, you?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad.
Yeah, I'm in this as well.
Oh, nice.
Got a bit more of an aggressive stop than you, though.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's alright. I just thought, for me personally, you know, if I have stops below the other side of the range, it gives me a lot of time to, you know, like, if there's any, like, thing I don't like, I can just close out pretty early, you know, because then it's like allowing for that to happen. At the same time, you know, if I had stops, let's say below the 30-minute, I'd be in a little bit more panic mode based on.
Yeah, I'm in panic mode.
It should be good, man. I think I have confidence. I'm feeling, you know, I've got to tell myself to have the confidence. So I think let's see how this first 5 minutes sets up. If you see this first 5-minute candle closing pretty strong up over here, then I think we're going to be just fine.
Yeah, I was very close to getting stopped out, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. We will see. We shall see. Did you head down the pub yesterday?
Didn't, mate. Too
No?
cold.
Oh yeah.
Too cold for that.
Yeah, I'll have to wait till the summer. Be better.
The gym packed.
Yeah, the gym. Well, the gym actually wasn't too busy, but I mean, I think there was a lot of like new people signing up. They've obviously got a bit bored or put on a bit of weight during the lockdown or whatever. So now they're thinking, oh, I better sign up to the gym. So I think there was a lot of like people trying to sign up, but the actual gym wasn't actually that busy, to be honest with you. So, but yeah, but no, it just felt good, mate. Just get back down there, you know, release a bit of steam.
Yeah, a lot of people have been waiting for it, haven't they?
Yeah. I mean, like me personally, like I've said from day one, like it's just so unlogical to close gyms. You know, if you're generally trying to keep a population healthy and you're generally caring about the health of the population and you don't want people dying of, you know, like a virus, then exercise is a scientific proven, you know, factor to keep immune system strong, to keep mind strong, to keep everything strong. So for me, it's never made sense for them to close it. Plus, if you actually look at the data, gyms had one of the lowest transmission rates. So you know, they get you to wipe everything down. There's people that train in bloody masks, for God's sake. I mean, it's just crazy. But
Have you got to wear masks in there?
well, I don't, but some people do. Yeah, so they kind of leave it
us.
like you got to wear one to walk in, you got to wear one to walk out, and you've also got to wear one if you're like not training. But I just thought, sod it, I ain't doing that. I don't go to train to wear a mask. I need to be breathing in oxygen to make sure, you know, if I'm training properly. But
Yeah, I can't handle the gym. I think I end up signing up and just going for like a month, and that's sort of leaves it.
yeah.
I signed up to David Lloyd once.
Oh,
like
David Lloyd, yeah.
It's like £100 a month. And,
yeah.
I went for about a month, and it cost me about £1,200 to go like swimming like 3 times. So
Bloody hell.
well, that's probably the last time I do that.
yeah, I got it through friends that go to David Lloyd. They say it's a lot of money a month, so you got to really make sure that's what you wanna do.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I think you got to start off small, and with the cheaper ones, and then
Yeah.
work up to that. But.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, my gym's only like £40 a month, so it's actually pretty decent, to be fair. It's got a swimming pool, sauna, steam room. So it's got basically everything David Lloyd has. I think David Lloyd's just got that like what's the word, like higher.
Yeah, that's the problem. You got too much choice, and I found myself skipping the gym and just sitting in the sauna.
Yeah. Yeah, nah, sauna's great, man. But they bloody got it closed at the moment. That's the annoying thing for me. Sauna's closed, swimming pool's closed. But yeah, I mean, just glad to be back, to be honest. For me. But yeah, anyway, I think pound yen is looking much better now to continue, which is good. So if we take a look at the 1 hour, I think the 1 hour candle does seem like we're leaving this zone now. And it does seem like we are trying to flip back bullish. So hopefully in the last 20 minutes, we can see this 1 hour candle heading up, right? But we to be honest, if you think about it, this is your now most recent resistance. So we need this 30-minute candle to either break the highs or close above. You know, and if it closed back above, then if you're not in buys, that would for me probably be a good point to get in if you wasn't. Or, you know, there's the opportunity to maybe take it as it's impulsively. There's going to be a few options here, because that will basically be the 1 hour breaking its own high, etc. But I think this should be pretty good at this point now to start heading up.
When would you move your stop? Sorry.
That's right. I would say once we start reaching about 820, 810, that's where I'm starting to either look to bring stops below current candle lows or even break even, because once we're here, I think with volume will push up. Obviously, if we do get a further pullback for support, I mean, it's going to be a bit of a like choppy day, just based off of what we're seeing. If we're seeing like this kind of action here happening, then it's going to be slightly choppy. But yeah, once we hit this level, I'm comfortable at that point to just say, okay, if we come back to entry, I'll either close it at break even, or, you know, that's like basically once we hit here, I'll be pretty happy where we're at now. And then we should reach 900 and hopefully further on than that. But yeah, I think the best thing to do is, for me, I used to do it like how you're kind of thinking. Let's say your stop was here, and then you're saying, okay, once we hit here, we start bringing it below candle low. I think that's fine. But I would just say, like, if you're thinking, oh, you know, like now start bringing candle low, you're accepting that, okay, if you're wrong, you're gonna get stopped earlier than you would have liked. But I mean, at the moment, I think we haven't really got. I think we're good now. I think we're good personally.
I'll be in this if this 15-minute can close above the 15-minute resistance. If not, I'll just wait for the 30 to close.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, I think not from this month, April, but May. That's where I'm gonna start. If I get added confirmations, I'm gonna start looking to like add smaller positions on. That's my plan. But yeah, if this 30-minute, see this 15-minute counter, the way it's setting up, should be good. I mean, yeah, should be good. We just want this 30-minute to, I think we just really need the 30-minute to start breaking the highs, really.
Yeah, maybe this next 15 minute will just run up. But yeah, I'm just gonna wait for the 30 at this point.
Yeah, because this kind of area here now is our like most recent support. So let's say like we break down below this support, yeah, I'm closing out definitely, because then we know that we're gonna be having a lot of issues. I personally think that this here was a reaction to our 4-hour level, and now we're starting to create support here, and then this new 15-minute candle should start popping up. Yeah, because we can get like a, see where this 15 close, it is a little bit tricky, to be honest. It is a little bit tricky because it's one of those, we could prop up, break the highs, and then you either miss it, or we're gonna get like a break above the highs, close bearish, and then the overall 30-minute basically just closes above that kind of area there. But we'll see. I think, to be honest, even if you miss these buys, there's going to be plenty of upside for the day, in my opinion. You know, once we even break above like 150, 900, you know, if you look left, like there's a lot of correction at that point. So yeah, I would just say like anyone not in buys, you know, I wouldn't even probably be stressing about it too much. I would just say there's going to be plenty of opportunity. I just for me want to see this 30-minute closing above Asian high still, because if this 30-minute closes below Asian high, probably will actually close the trade, to be honest. It will be a tough spot, very, very tough spot to be in. Man, what a day so far. How long we got to London Open as well? Yeah, Open could do some real damage. Right, sorry, I missed a couple of H, did you look at gold earlier today? Yeah, I looked at it. I think gold's a little bit tricky until I see some maybe like higher time frame resistance forming, because we're coming into like a 4-hour level. I think personally your best selling opportunity on gold is going to be below 1722. Based on the higher time frames, you'll be off at that point. Once you're below there, you should be good. So that's what I think for gold. GJ potentially starting to break above the highs over here to continue. Waiting for the 30-minute bullish or break of previous 30-minute candle 1 hour flip. Oh, okay, so you would have been in buys, or you're getting in over here. I think that's pretty solid. Get it. So if you're taking it impulsively, you know, you're gonna have to go with it. Obviously, you want this 1 hour candle to remain bullish. You want the 30-minute also to remain bullish. But yeah, it should be good. We'll see. It's just too sore right now. It's hurting me to even move my mouse. Okay, we're breaking above the 30-minute high. And now we're not.
Was tempting. I was like, nah, he took too many impulses like that and lost. So
yeah.
It's fine.
No, I think impulsively, you know, if you just avoid them all the time, you won't even care about taking impulsive entries, you know. I mean, you never know. We could reject from here, and we can still lose this trade. Like, there's no, you know, like this 30-minute needs to just close above like 157.30 for us to continue. So you may get that, and that might be the best actual opportunity for the session. So a little bit of extra patience might really pay. But if you miss this initial push up, you know that there's going to be pullbacks after London Open, support forms, etc. So 1722 sells would be better because it's clear structure down to 1710. Yes, exactly. If we get solid moves below here, if I get a resistance below 1722 500, I might give sells a go on gold, because even for like a short term target, I think you're definitely coming down to like 1716 is going to be a minimum there. But I'd want a resistance, because then if you get a resistance, you should be in a much better position. Otherwise, if there's no resistance, you can get caught out in them higher time frame liquidity grabs at that point. So yeah, my kind of plan here is, if we can close half at like 15900, then I think I'm going to try and let a little bit more run, but I'll see, because I may just decide to close it all there, to be honest, and then re-enter like tomorrow. So yeah, if you're holding the buys like I have done, then I think at this point we do not want price to be coming back below like 156.60, 156.70, like closing below. We don't want that at all. That's going to be detrimental to the success of this trade now. We can pull back to it, but we don't want breaks or closes. Slowly moving into half decent profits. Oh, look at that. Okay, we're reaching 800. 158.00 at the moment has been reached. So I've got around 8 pips already now. Oh, we're above that. We're above 158.20. 830 now. Pretty solid.
X are off.
Yeah, pretty solid at this point. Yeah, so I think
get 900 in this candle.
Yeah, that would be pretty nice if we could, but if not, open should do it. So yeah, now see now that I see price in profits, you feel more comfortable with the setup. You feel more comfortable with the trade. 15-minute candle is flipping bullish.
Yeah, I've gone break even on this one.
All right, nice. So you got a risk-free trade now.
Yeah, I'm just going for like 10.
Okay, nice. Yeah, you should be nearly there. I think around 840 is about 10 pips roughly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got about 7, 8 at the moment. So yeah. But we'll see. We'll see.
I think, yeah, for me, looking at the 1 hour, I've got a zone drew. I think if we get a close above, that's the thing, 770 on the 1 hour looks good to continue up, but then on the 30-minute, you've got area 800.
Yeah.
Only annoying thing.
Yeah, it's just tapped into it, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I think we should be fine. We've got the last 5 minutes. Last 5 minutes usually gives us a little squeeze. Either way, whatever wick's being made now is a wick to potentially be filled, so I think, even if we retrace and come back to my entry, obviously not good for you, Leon, but for me it's still be fine, because I would then expect the next 30-minute to fill that wick and then continue.
Yeah, the thing is, for me, if I'm only going for 10 pips, so if I go, what was it, went 9 pips, if I go 9 pips and start going into drawdown from there,
It's grim.
Yeah,
I'd rather just take a break even, to be honest.
Yeah, do you know? I mean, yeah, exactly. Break even is always going to be better than having a loss. So yeah, no, you should be good, man. Last 5 minutes should do something here. Okay, what are you on? Thanks. This is TradingView, TradingView.com. This is how I look at my charts. Strong daily zone here. I think we need to come a bit higher up for the daily zone. In terms of, that's exactly where I'm trying to target, is this within this daily zone. That's why I've got it at 150,900. So I think we're fine at the moment. This area is what caused us a little bit of headache, which is where we're at now, which is 157.70, we'll say. That's the zone that was causing us a bit of headache. And then now, because we should be closing above that, I'm expecting, with volume for the session now, we should push up to the next resistance on the 4 hour. The last 5 minute candle made a little bit of a bottom wick. If we start breaking up, if it starts breaking its own high, then it could be one of them last like 2 minute pushes before open. That'll be solid. But we'll see. I'm still happy with the trade, etc. So we shall see.
Well, to hold though.
Yeah. Usually I'd be in like bit like what's the word? Bit anxious about it. Obviously, you never want to see 30-minute candle close back in the range. But I just, I've just had to like drill it into my head. You've got to be confident, and you've got to be willing to make a mistake. You know what I'm saying? Got to be willing to. And I woke up this morning, I said to myself, I'm like, all right, I've got to catch. I know GJ's heading up tomorrow. I've got to catch that. But I do think though we could have potentially got in before the news. Look at thinking about it, and then maybe gone break even or something, because we wouldn't have got stopped out. But still, look at this retracing a bit. Hopefully 8 a.m. should. Well, we don't want 8 a.m. to do a retest because then it will stop out Leon. But I think hopefully 8 a.m. should see a little bit of a bottom wick and then fill that range.
I mean, it shouldn't pull back so much. I mean, it's 30 minutes now creating support.
Yeah.
And it's already tapped into 800. The next one shouldn't be reacting off it with the volume.
No, I mean, we can see a little bit of a pullback. It's 8 a.m. It's a little bit unpredictable. But overall, here is where the absolute maximum we'd want to see, really. Here is where it can, but it's just so much choppiness for what we're trying to achieve.
I don't think the 800 level should be that much of a problem because despite obviously creating resistance there, we were tapping into 900. That's where we rejected from.
Oh yeah, I mean 800's only a resistance on the 30 minute. Once we're above here, then we should be pushing up into it. This is our 4 hour level, so ultimately your 4 hour level is obviously stronger than your 30 minute level. So in terms of volume, we know that we could quite easily break through, which is why we're coming into volume now. So that's what we're expecting, basically. That's what we have to expect. Otherwise, if we don't have the volume, if we can't break above, then yeah, of course, then maybe we are going to pull back and maybe we are going to have some issues here. But man, after this trade, I'm going to go get some food. I'm starving. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those we'll see. 5 minutes, just let's just chill. We got a minute
I might
left.
be in based off the 1 hour if it closes above where I wanted to.
Yeah, you can do that.
Stops below the 1 hour.
Yeah, it stops below 1 hour, should be fine.
Should be alright. Because I've got a 4 hour zone, drew up to 770 pretty much. And if we're going to get a close above it on the 1 hour, it should say we're going to continue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just like this 15 to maybe close a bit stronger, to be honest, but need a good nice cup of tea after this. Right, so we'll be coming into 8 a.m. So what we kind of want to see first of 8 a.m. is a little bit of a wick down, and then you start to see it going boom, 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 like that. Ooh. Very, very nearly there. Come on, ATM.
Minutes now.
Nice little bottom wick
my
made.
MT, my
you
magic
get
key
slipped.
wasn't working. I had to jump into the
One click.
the one click thing.
Ooh. Well, at least, Leon, you didn't get stopped out, did you?
Just got tapped out, yeah.
Oh, man. I was looking at it like, he might have just made
Unlucky.
it. Oh,
That's right.
yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Might change the plan, can I? Just stick to it.
Man, that's a tough one.
Yeah, it's alright, I don't mind. I'd rather, like I said, I can't go 9 pips and profit and then sit and draw down again. I don't like it.
That's horrible. Yeah. For me, how I trade now is like I can like do that kind of like fairly comfortably, but like it's not my ideal situation, you know.
Yeah, you had a good stop, didn't you? So
Yeah. Stops are still way down over here, so once we start breaking the high, I'm gonna move stops below this area, or even probably go break even actually once we start breaking above the 30-minute high. But we'll let London open do its thing. Come on, man. I want to see this 30 push up above 158.20 and start pushing up to 900. Just want it to hurry up, to be honest. I'm starving. Oh. Plus, I'm sure these guys on the YouTube who've been in buys as well want to get a win. It's the new 1 hour pullback anyway. We've got a new 1 hour candle. Oh, damn, no, don't get me back into drawdown, man. Oh, London, open you.
No, maybe I should have waited for the bottom wick.
I don't know though. I think it's still a pretty solid setup. We could just be tapping into Asian highs to start to form support. I mean, realistically, the whole candle ain't gonna just come right down and hit your stop loss. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, it's a volume time.
Back into like 700.
Yeah. Told you, man. London Open just does madnesses. Thing is, if I'd gone break even once we hit there, I 100% would have obviously got stopped out as well.
Did you even get 10 pips?
It hit 8. Hit 8, so I didn't even actually get 10. So it's not even like I would have secured positions anyway. Like if I wanted to. It went about 8. I think it was about 8. Well, on my MT5 it said 8. Yeah, with spread and shit. Yeah, hopefully this is just a nice pullback and then we're going to continue up. But if this 30-minute candle closes below 156.75, I am out. Which would be the 1 hour low, right? To be fair,
grinded this trade out, and you
sorry,
grinded this trade out.
oh mate, I know.
For a while.
The thing is, from what I've seen, I think we're still fine, to be honest, because I've seen this sort of structure before, and I've seen these sort of liquidity grabs on the 15. If there's 5-minute support being created in here within this bottom wick of that candle, I think we're good. I think it will be fine. If it doesn't, then obviously it's not what I'm expecting.
Yeah, I think it's good to go up, but this 8 AM volume's not to be trusted, is it?
No, not until you. No, it's not to be trusted until you start to. The thing is, with 8 AM, how it usually works, and how it works like most of the time, is you're gonna get 5-minute candles do that, and then you're gonna get one that does that, and then usually that's where you enter, because it's like the 8 AM pulls you back into the range, and then the next 5-minute candle then pushes like back above, and then from there the volume goes. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, yeah, that's basically what happens a lot of times. So that's what I'm saying. If we get support in here being created, if this 5-minute candle can close bullish and create a support, then I think that's basically the bottom wick of this candle being created. If it can't, then the way that top wick's now, that's gonna be.
It has a big top wick.
Yeah, that's gonna be a little bit scary. That is a little bit scary. Oh, I knew it. Nah, gotta hold your guns, man.
If I take an L here, I'm gonna have to be really careful in the future at London Open, because
I mean, most times open like if you think
you
about
can
it,
just carry on.
yeah, like if you think about it, most times open's gonna go with your direction. It's just whether, it's basically just whether we have the volume. Like, it's based on the bias, it's based on the levels. You know what I mean? Like, you know, most of the time, if you look, 8 AM is gonna go your way. It's just there's that maybe once a week, twice a week, it may not, or it's gonna do a deeper pullback than you're kind of expecting. So I think for future, like if you're gonna take a trade coming into 8 AM, you know, like actually before or at 8 AM, then always wait for the pullback first, or you know, have stops in a more conservative area to allow yourself to know whether, you know, 8 AM is gonna stitch you up. Let's see how this 5-minute candle closes, because it's dodgy, but it can easily go back bullish. It hasn't closed yet, so let's not.
I think we can still respect this whole level here.
Yeah, let's not be too hasty. I bet some people like skipping through the streams, whatever, they're like, man, he's still holding. Right, what's gold saying? Gold is still trying to move bearish. I mean, higher time frames, we should be pumping the hell up. So, yeah. Right, I think that 5 minutes about to close. Oh no, it's got a minute left. Yeah, I mean, it's never nice going into profits and then start going back into drawdown, but gotta stick to the plan here. what we basically want to see is support on the 5-minute being created in the bottom of this candle to know that then, okay, that should be the bottom wick. Otherwise, this is going to be tough.
So what? Because you used to got stops far down. Mine are just below 1 hour. So even if we break the 1 hour low and come back up, I'll be stung with that.
Oh, that 5-minute closed. We need a 5-minute candle to close bullish back above now. Otherwise, if we create resistance in here, GJ is funny at times, isn't it? I suppose this is a 15-minute support as well, so we should have a bullish reaction here. It's not like it's just going to completely, because if you think about it, like, this is your most recent support, so this like support needs to be respected. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll see how the 15 closes.
Yeah, it's probably a good shout. I either want to just take a loss or just have a win. Just know where I stand. I've been eating these buys for a while now. But if this flips, I mean, we could be in for quite a treat. But yeah, like I say, we want support to be formed in here on the 5-minute, and then get closures back above is going to be what we want to see.
Ain't looking good.
No.
At least
I'm
gonna made a bottom wick. In
Yeah,
case it does sit up now.
I'm keeping faithful. You gotta be confident, man. Otherwise, you know, you just talk yourself out of situations, don't you? But yeah, the way the 1 hour closed, I was really expecting 8 AM to just pump us up. Maybe we're retesting 660 area. What's Daily saying at this point? You didn't even really get to, like, I mean, the only key level we have is 770. Did we reject 770? No, we got a bit higher than that, to be honest. So it doesn't really make too much sense, but there you go.
It looks nice on the 1 hour, just creating this bottom wick. As long as it doesn't break the low, I think it should be good.
Yeah, this is the thing though. I mean, the way that it's setting up now, it's not your usual, like, usually it happens pretty quick. Let's see how the first 15 closes. That's going to give us more indication. We may need to create further support here, to be honest. We may need to create a further, support over here.
I'm gonna have to just trust in the 1 hour and just base the fury off that. If I get stopped, I get stopped.
Yeah, pray. Pray to the 1 hour.
It's hard sometimes though, because like you wait. I was waiting just to see what I wanted, and then you see it, and then you get the like.
Yeah. ATM is just such a destroyer.
Soul destroyer.
Yeah. I think hopefully, because we're at this 15-minute support area here that basically we should like see reactions of it and then start to come back up would be nice. That's what we want, you know? That's what we want ideally, and this is just a pullback. This wick should get filled, but if we start to create resistance below here, then I'd probably say, okay, let's be a little bit concerned. That's such a weak 5-minute candle. That ain't gonna do nothing. Did that 15-minute candle close?
Yeah, it's closed.
It's closed back in the range, isn't it?
Yeah.
30's still open though.
Yeah, true. I mean, every time we've kind of made a high recently, we have had a pullback.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And we get, well, usually 8 AM continues and then 8:30 pulls you back. That's the usual situation.
Yeah, I was looking at some of my missed entries, and a lot of them are at 8. So.
Are they?
Yeah, some of them are.
Oh right.
So
Okay.
they definitely do play out.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of times. Yeah, definitely.
Oh no.
Oh no.
That is not nice. It's now broken a 50-minute low.
Hopefully it's a liquidity grab. If not, we're all screwed. And if me and you end up taking loss, Leon's gonna feel, well, not great that we've taken loss, but he's there rubbing his hands, got out break even, and
Nah, I'm rooting for you guys.
honestly. Nah, I'm only joking. Oh man.
You deserve a win, mate. It's been an
Oh.
emotional trade.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it just looks like a rejection now, doesn't it, from that 30-minute resistance?
It does seem like it. It does seem like it. This is my level here. This is where we need respecting. If I yes, if it starts making a lower high, this is going to be very tough. But let's see, because if this, I'm still rooting for it.
Already down up to 11 at this point.
Okay. Hello guys, I think this will pull up. I'm hoping so too. Because I did have profits on the table, but obviously not that I would want to secure, you know. Kingship. It's a sell. It's forming an expanding triangle. Well, I don't look at that. I don't look at expanding triangles. I look at price action, my friend.
Do you think, in hindsight, we should have waited for? We were buying into a 4-hour and 30-minute resistance, weren't we? So do you think that, in hindsight, we should have waited for the close above?
Well, for me, like, my plan was, you know, to take buys above the Asian highs and then, you know, look to push through this 8-10 zone and then move on to the next 4-hour level. But I mean, I don't know. I think in most cases you're always trying to say, you know, we should what's the word? Like, we should, with volume, we should break through, you know. So yeah. I don't know. It's a tricky one. I mean, to be completely honest, I was like pretty happy with the fact that, okay, once we break through 800, we should be good. But maybe the trade was from here to 800. Like, maybe that was the move, and that's why we're getting a further pullback. And it's like we still can continue on, but it's gonna need to, maybe it's generating more liquidity. Like, yeah, do you know what? Thinking about it, what you've just said kind of makes a bit more sense. Like, maybe the actual move was from here, but the issue we had was obviously news, wasn't it? So yeah, I don't know. Because obviously, based on the higher time frames, you could argue that, like, we have so much more upside. So yeah, I mean,
yeah, I think we do have a lot more upside once we get above that. But no, you're right. I think 6:30 was the candle was the one.
yeah. Yeah, the problem with that I have though is obviously like I just don't like trading into news, you know. So it was like you would have had to have either gone break even before the news or hold through the news, which could easily have stopped you out, and that was my problem. So
Yeah, somehow I just kept my stops just below the 1 hour, so I'm still in it.
okay,
But it has broken the outlook.
it has. I mean, there's still the chance we can go up. I mean, if 15-minute is like wicking down first and then it starts breaking its own high, then I mean we could well come back in, but yeah, it ain't looking good now. I'll be real. Because now we've basically created a minor resistance back in the range. I'd say it's gonna be quite tough at this point.
I'm out.
He's out.
I'm gone.
I'm probably gonna start maybe managing the positions at this point.
So I think you don't want to pay like to the 800 level. I didn't want to pay too much attention to it, but maybe I should have waited for a support above it.
Yeah, I've just closed half at this point now. So at least if I take a loss, it's gonna be a lot less than what it originally was. But to be honest with you, I was gonna maybe close it here. That's the thing. I don't know. We'll see. With the 30 minutes still open. Definitely annoying. Going into profits and then having to manage the trade like that. But yeah, I think looking back, this was the play there, and then moving up to 800. I was really expecting us to go to that 4-hour level. I must admit, I really was. So we'll see. It's going down to 154.540. Well, I mean, look, if we're not breaking above the highs, then it's pretty easy to say we're coming down to here. But yeah, I mean, well, I don't care.
Kingship's gonna move price.
Yeah, Kingship's on it, mate.
It's stopping you out.
I'm probably looking at closing this, to be honest. Yeah, I think I'm going to close this trade over here.
Wise decision.
Yeah, I'm out. Oh, GJ, you've been cruel today. She's been very cruel. So, GJ buys. Yeah, I think what we were saying there makes the most sense, to be honest.
Only thing about that is though, is that the news might have stopped us out.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, but then maybe did we go break even for news, and then we wouldn't have done.
But that's where Fo got stopped out with the spread.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true, man. Yeah, that's a tough one, really.
Only way would have been off the 15-minute, but was that a good enough entry at 6:15?
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I will see. I think there's still opportunity today, so we'll wait and see. Imagine after I close it, it just starts pumping up. Right, I'll wait for this 30 to close and then I'm gonna go make a drink and that. Because if I do re-enter, I mean, I might even get a better entry than I did originally. Because let's say we come back down and we create support again at like pre-London support, I might give the buyers a second chance. Oh, no way we're actually going to respect that area.
Maybe you should have just waited for the 30 to close, and if we do respect it, and that's hard though, because like the way it was moving.
Let's see. Let's wait and see. I might look for re-entries. Oh, you are kidding me.
Didn't break the hour, like.
Oh, look at this.
This is nasty. That's not nice.
It never does that.
Oh, you.
Shit up.
Trust me. I don't know what it was. I just had a sneaky feeling once that 5 minute did that. I was like, yeah, you cheeky monkey. Oh, there you go. So this was basically just a further pullback and a liquidity grab, I think. Then it seems as though that's pretty crazy.
The thing is, I don't know if I would have wanted my stops where you had it, because my entry was like 4 or 5 pips above.
Yeah.
Well, 20 pips. Yeah,
So
over 20.
Mr. Kingship was round. You close, then it pulls up. I did say this needs current 15 to close below before I close my trade. Well, that's good for you, man. I mean, to be honest, the way I saw it, it was creating resistance back in the range. It started breaking below everything. Yeah, I wasn't really comfortable with it. But I mean, there's going to be an opportunity to re-enter this trade, so I'm not actually that bothered. My entry was here anyway, so I may give it another chance if this 15 minute 15-minute candle.
It does look good now.
To be honest, yeah, man, I can't believe I just closed the other half and then it does that.
Stop going to be now 16 again.
No, I can't take buys here now yet. I want to wait for this 15 to close. If this 15 closes back above, I might give it another go, but we'll see. I will re-enter to add onto my trade with the higher lot size. Ooh, well, that's up to you, mate. That is up to you. I'm not going to advise against. I'm not going to advise to do it. It's completely up to you what you do.
Do you have any good podcasts or books that you listen to?
What, in terms of like trading or?
Yeah, trading podcast. Yeah.
To be honest, I haven't listened to one in absolutely ages, so I'll have to have a think. Let me have a think, and then I'll get back to you about yeah, I'll get back to you. I'm not
Listened
right.
to one before. It's called the Trading Coach podcast by Kill Stokes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. That one.
Yeah.
I've not heard of that one.
I like one called Mind Over Markets.
Mind
It's
over
a bit
market.
more. It's a bit more of a psychology podcast, but it's pretty good.
Oh, nice. So we basically created support over here again on the 15-minute time frame.
The 30's also in it, respecting even that 740 level.
Yeah.
But it's like 30 minutes bearish, hours. It's just, I don't know how to get this.
Don't know. Kingship's pretty convinced it's gonna go down to 540 apparently. It may do though. No, do you know what? It actually might. Like we can't. It's it's never guaranteed that we're gonna head up. But still.
Yeah, I'm not going to re-enter just
Not
after I
yet.
close because I've had problems like that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to close above 800, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. To be honest, what would actually be nice is for it to pull back to pre-London support and then create further support. That would be pretty good. But I think this area now is like more like this. So maybe I'm gonna wait for buys above like 900, somewhere over there, but we'll see.
It's never good starting a week with a loss.
No, it's not the ideal situation. I mean, how much did I lose? Oh, I got out with like minus 70. Not too bad.
Much the same as me, but obviously trading higher lot size.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna hold out with the buys just right now. I think maybe above 800 is gonna be safer. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wait for buys above 800. Okay. Have you ever felt like too many people are playing the same strategy on GJ? That's why it fakes out like this. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Waiting for this 30 minute to close, but now it looks like it can pump up. Let's see. I think, yeah, we'll see. This is now a bit delicate because we have kind of rejected this 800 level. So I think taking a buy now again would just be a little bit would be the sensible thing to do. So we'll see. It will get to 540. Don't be deceived by that move. I read that. Mind over market. Could you please advise the full name? Kelsey, do you want to say the full name?
I don't think it was me that I was speaking about. I think it was Leon.
Oh, right.
That's what it's called, Mind Over Markets.
Oh,
Is it like an audio book?
Podcast.
You should be able to just, if you search it up, it should come up, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Right, Kingship's gone short. His TP is 150, 560. What happened to 540? So he's gone short. Alright, fair enough. Good luck. It may work out.
You told us an hour ago.
Yeah. Should have told us before we was in buys Kingship. Yeah, we're in a very tricky spot now, GJ. I mean, me personally, I don't think that we're going to come down to 560. I think that what we could do is pull back to pre-London support and then create some form of a further support form to maybe retest this high. Would be pretty solid. Yeah, it's broken that 30-minute low now. So even if GJ did do that thing and we all thought it would go up, now it is pulling back. But I mean, for sells, I'd want to see a resistance forming below pre-London support. And then, yeah, maybe we can push down to Asian lows. But then that would basically be the 4-hour rejecting hard, man. Like, if you're basing it off of, like, the 4-hour higher time frames, etc., I mean, I would have thought we would have broken above this, but there you go. Oh, it looks like Kingship might actually have a win. Right, I think at this point it's going to be a little bit more of a waiting game anyway, so.
I've only just noticed, but the daily's got no bottom wick either.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't too concerned about that, to be honest. Right. I'm going to leave you guys for a little bit. I'm going to go get some food and that. And yeah, I'll be back in around like 10 minutes or so. So bear with me. And I'll see you guys in a bit.
You must be missing me so bad. When you left, you said that I don't deserve you, but I can see that you don't wanna lose what we had. Oh, you're the one that I need. Let's just take it slow and just breathe. Loving someone is not easy, you know, but it makes us feel alive. So we go with the flow.
Wow, I've just seen the drop. Just gone to like chart up my trade, and it's literally off the charts. Yeah, I think H was up about 8 pips from where he got in, and then it ended up pulling back, and he got out, I think, -10. But yeah, I'd say for that sell, like, if anyone caught that, obviously I know Kingship did, from the way that most of us would trade, I don't think there's a way of catching that, to be honest. But the only thing was that, yeah, we got a 30-minute bearish close, but still closed above 730. So maybe unless you waited for the 30-minute low to break, you could have waited to see if we would come back to 550, go to break even and let it run. Have a look at the 15. Yeah, see that 50-minute bullish candle was a pullback. Not the easiest of sells to catch. I mean, what was hard is, like, we seem to pull back like during the open, which normally we like to see, you know, a little pullback at the open for a continuation, whereas today we just didn't get a continuation at all. We were just setting up the whole morning, more than anything, just to pull back to 750 and then drop. I wonder if the daily's now going to start filling these wicks. Yeah, 800 is an important level. Like, I was going to wait for buys above there, but then I started seeing 30-minute creating support for 1 hour. I wanted to see close above pretty much 772. Like, I had a previous zone drew, and it got above that. And unfortunately, it just dropped. maybe even if people are awake at 6 a.m. when that 4 hour closed, you could have got buys as in you got to close above 500 and then Asian candle still closed bullish after coming up to 700, anticipating the next one would at least come back up to around 800, 770, and then you would have caught possibly 20 pips plus with like a 16 pip, 17 pip stop. So that's what I was looking at. Maybe that's what I should have done. But then it's always hard when you're looking on the 4 hour, when you've got news coming in, we could easily have dropped at any point. I mean, you never know, like maybe the news wasn't properly priced in until we had this push down as well. It was a heavy drop. Then like you said, if this is a key level here, 800, then the drop made sense once we come to this point. Tough day.
Right, sorry about that, guys. Back. Okay, yeah, looks like. Did we have any news? That's quite a big drop. I don't know. That's quite a big drop to say we had very bullish market structure. Interesting. So
yeah, we got above Asian highs, we got above pre-London resistance.
Yeah, we was above everything. And then the way this 30-minute closed as well, it was like we broke into the range and we created some further support. Like, it kind of made sense for us to continue higher. But I think there's something that's created that. I mean, you can't have one 30-minute candle just correct the whole Asian move and then break lower.
I was just saying, maybe that was the news getting properly priced in, but we just needed to come to that level first, around 800. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't. I don't know, to be honest. That one I don't know. Can't really say. But all I know is Kingship would have won his sell. So fair play. Fair play. Give credit when credit's due, as they say. Our only stage at this point would be to look for resistance to form below Asian low, and then look to test whichever low has been created. But you'd need a resistance to form at that point.
It's back in buys, Kingship. Well, now in buys.
Oh, now he's in buys. Oh wow. Yeah, I mean, the only thing that we can say is we could have been in buys from 6 a.m. Obviously, we would have never got stopped out. It would have given us, it would have been difficult because it would have come back to our entry and stuff. But effectively, that was the push. That was the push.
I think because the stop would have been, if we did keep a bit small, like 6 pips, we could have said, right, we'll just leave the stop there.
Yeah, because it's not like it's not a deep
not a big
stop loss. Was there a 1 hour candle? We could have placed it below like this previous 1 hour candle.
Yeah, but I mean, for like moving stops to break even, like if you had a touch up anyway, you wouldn't really be so bothered.
Yeah, anyway, at the end of the day, I got out with a smaller loss than was anticipated for anyway, so that's the main thing. Because even there, how close we're looking to re-enter at some point, I just wasn't convinced by that candle. It was like, yeah, we're respecting structure, but it doesn't really make sense. Targeting where? Oh, so if we create resistance in here, then I mean, you could look to basically retest this low, because now if this is like a news push, then yeah, we could easily, because let's take a look at the 4 hour. If we look at the 4 hour now, I mean, it doesn't really look like we're heading up at all. It looks like we're completely still respecting bearish market structure, and then if we kind of think about, okay, well, where's our current daily low? Our current daily low is here at 151.90. So if it's at 151.90, then we know, okay, if this 4 hour candle in 44 minutes closes, let's say below here, then we know that we should see a push down to there, like as a minimum, or a push down to here then if we start breaking down below here. So that would be a good range to take sells below that 4 hour level, and then you can obviously see how we're basically creating a lower level of resistance on that 4 hour time frame. But that seems like a complete rejection. Oh, you was asking kingship. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, it's never nice taking a loss for your first trade of the week, but to be honest, the idea was there. You know, I was anticipating higher time frames to really push us up. But maybe we're gonna get these deep pullbacks because we are still in that lower end. I mean, technically we are in this like consolidation area. You know, this is consolidation. You know, this is sideways moving market. So of course it's gonna be, you know, hard, but to some extent, you know, we will see how we react here at this point, because this is our key support. We may, you know, want to come back to here and then drive up, so we'll see. Because if we don't create resistance and we start closing back above Asian lows, then I mean we could correct the whole thing, right? You know, if we get closures back above our Asian low session, then I mean we have a clean candle now right back to your high point, especially if this was like some form of news, you know, some form of, because you can't get a 50 pip candle like that, no way. There's something that's pushed this down 100%. Does anyone have a proper news terminal? But yeah, if we do start to create resistance over here, maybe on like a 15-minute candle, something like that, then I think we can see price coming down to retest this low. But we'll see. But yes, not an easy day. Not an easy day today.
Yeah, tricky one today.
I
kind of feel I was trying to force something. I mean, I sent a chart in this morning. I was talking about buys above the highs and then sells. But sales weren't going to play out for a long time. But I feel like I was just sort of, I feel like I forced it a little bit. I was aware of that 4-hour resistance, and I wanted to see a close above it, but I didn't wait for it. So a bit disappointed that I didn't stick to the plan, really.
That's all right. I mean, to be honest, I mean, I think that, you know, potentially that we were meant to move up, like we were meant to move further up, but something has come, like there's something that's come in here 100%. You know, there's no two ways about it, because at the end of the day, you know, you don't get one 15-minute candle that moves nearly 40 pips. You know, you don't get a 50 pip 30-minute candle without some form of news, you know, or some form of push. I mean, it may have been
nothing on forex.com.
No, there's nothing. This is the thing, like it can be something really you know, it can be something really like small that does, you know, it could be many things. In terms of news, you know, there isn't really anything. Yeah, I mean, who knows? There could be just a bank order coming in or for something, you know. We don't know. So we'll have to see.
Yeah.
I mean, what happened the last time we went bullish? We had a lot less rejections though to the left. We have a lot of rejections to the left. I mean, even here though, I suppose we pull back into the range, create a high level of support to continue. So maybe something similar is going to occur, but we'll see. 15-minute not even giving us an option. Oh, 5-minute again. Yeah, that would have been a really nice potential entry on the 5-minute. but the range becomes small now at this point. Oh, I missed a question there. How did you manage your how did your trade do earlier? Did you secure profits? I secured 8 pips on GJ buys. No, I did not secure, because I was trying to target these highs. I had about 8, 9 at one point. You know, maybe to be honest, I didn't stick to the plan either, to be fair, because I said once we started coming above 800 I would go break even, and I didn't do that. So I think that, yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's always a learning opportunity, you know, that's the main thing. So I think from our learning opportunity, I think what I'm gonna say is that I think I should have been in buys from 6 a.m. and look to push above area, push to that 800 level, because we haven't actually got there yet. And then, yeah, just kind of hold through the news. Obviously, to some extent, news could have stopped us out, of course, but I think that if, you know, because of the small loss you would have incurred, if it did stop you out, it wouldn't have been like a big deal. You know, you could have just re-entered in at that point. So yeah, I think that would have been the play there, because you can clearly see on, like, from a 15-minute we had resistance here. This was like, I think this was like an impulsive move up where it tapped into that level, and then we basically created resistance back below there, and then broke down below your support, and then hit there. But obviously there was no, unless you're trading like 5-minute and you're just really good with that sort of smaller time frame, then I mean there was no way of anticipating that. I mean, for me to give buys a second chance, I'd want to see price closing back above like 154.60, because how long we got in the 4 hour? Yeah, it's like 40 minutes. So I mean, if we look at it, we have enough time to probably at least close above here to show that we, you know, maybe are just pulling back into this zone to start leaving. But at the same time, I just hate the fact we've rejected this zone here. We have rejected this zone, and if you look at it, it's like a lower rejection to here, it's still a lower rejection to there previously. This is where I think price is pretty tricky now, because in terms of levels of support as well, we're clearly starting to make like a higher level of support, but then we have these contradicting argument because we're still making lower levels of resistance. So that probably suggests that we either are going to consolidate, like higher time frame, we're going to just start to break that, like consolidate, or we're like doing, you know, that where we're going to start to either exceed or continue down with the trend. I think MY could have some decent volume. But I'm waiting to see how we set up on a 15-minute perspective for potential.
I'm off, guys. Thanks for today.
No worries, mate. I'll see you tomorrow, yeah?
See you later.
See you later.
Cheers, mate.
Okay.
Bye. But yeah, did you hear what I'm saying about the news situation?
Yeah. Completely agree.
But yeah, can't let the loss throw us off. Oh, no resistance created below 1722 yet on gold. This could be a 1 hour pullback. Oh, 1 sec. I just gotta go let my dog in. Barking. Right, 2 seconds. Right, I'm back. Right, how's this 15-minute coming along? Okay, where's our 4-hour level? Our 4-hour support is around 150, 185. 150, 185. Yeah, I mean, look at the structure though, like from a 30-minute point of view. Like, it does kind of seem like we're still very, like, short-term bullish. Yeah, like still creating high levels of support. The only thing, yeah. And then, you know, in terms of like resistance, again, it's like now we are starting to create high levels of resistance. So was this just because we were basically at the high here? We've pulled back, and then if we start to see the bullish candle closing back here, I'll be looking to push back up to retest that.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be jumping in sales at all at the moment.
No, I don't think there's enough range for sells yet anyway. But yeah, I think the idea did make a lot of sense for the buys. I think we just got caught out at like nearer the high point. But still, yeah, I think if we just had those buys slightly earlier, would have been solid.
Definitely the move there, half six.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would have been in that without the news.
But yeah, oh no, if there was no news, we would have been in those. But then I suppose if we look at like the data collection and stuff, we haven't even checked out news. Do you know what I mean? So if you think about it, like how many times have we, do you know what I'm saying? Like how many times has it actually, like not really impacted things? Like once or twice it's actually had an influence. So maybe it's a case of getting in before the news and then saying, okay, well, you know, unless we start to see reaction at that point, we'll be fine. I think, yeah, looking back, I'm like, see, this is the thing. I said to myself last night, I'm not trading before the news, and that was the problem. I had that too much in my head. Whereas, you know, when we came to the charts, it just made sense. You know, take a buy, push up to here, and then look to go either break even, like we say, or, you know, look to... This was the target, you know, and then I was saying, okay, if we go higher, we push to 900, and normally we would, you know, normally that we would continue because that's the move for the session. But on this particular occasion, I think we just got caught with, obviously, what's happened, and in terms of, exactly where we should have been just that slightly lower down, because then that would have given us the push to our first like TP, and then we could have had a win today. So it's one of those, probably just another key lesson learned, I suppose. But I'm not taking sales just yet because we haven't made a lower resistance on the 5 minute. If we create a higher level of support, then sales are going to be very tough. So if you get a further bearish candle, that could give you a better option, because then you're creating a lower high. But at the moment, I think this 15 is going to start pumping up. So I'm personally thinking if we get a candle closing back above Asian low, sorry, over here, I'll be looking for buys to push back up. Because I ain't convinced that we're coming down just yet. Daily's still bullish as well. I personally think this is just a reaction from a zone. You got sellers jumping in, and then you'll have buyers jumping right back in. But we need confirmation, of course. We'll probably look to call it a day on the stream soon, though. It looks like we could start breaking up. Yeah, I'm going to be re-looking for buys if we close back above Asian lows. Yeah, see, my issue with sells, obviously we can come down to that 4-hour support at like point 200-ish. I'm gonna redraw that there actually. We can come down to point 200, but my issue with that is that we need a 5-minute bearish candle, which is probably not going to give us an opportunity here unless it retraces to close bearish. But I think if you were looking for sells, I mean, you could take it on the break of the low impulsively, but then you'd have to actually expect this low to break and for us to continue down to 4-hour support. So you're targeting about 15-16 pips, but for me, I don't think that's the best opportunity for this situation. This sort of setup happened a lot in like October time. October, November happened a lot. So yeah, it seems like price could come down, retest this low. However, even if it does, I think we might consolidate for a little bit here, and then if we start to get closes back above, I think later on I'll be looking for further upside. But the way this 4 hours kind of coming to a close, we are like back in this range. That's the only thing that's concerning. But if we're coming down, then there's going to be some rejection, I tell you. Okay. Right. I think we're gonna call it a day here soon, to be honest. I think we'll call it a day in a minute, actually. Right. Alright then, guys, we're gonna finish off there. So we had GJ buys this morning. We had about 9 pips in profit, and then obviously ended up coming back to take a loss. I think it's a bit unfortunate. I think we was looking to push higher than where we did, but really didn't get there, to be honest. I think we basically rejected this kind of area here to the left hand side, this kind of vicinity here. I think we basically just rejected that area there. It was a stronger level than we maybe anticipated. But I was really expecting us to push up to 4-hour resistance if we were going to really start to head up at that point. But yeah, I mean, that's just how it goes, you know. It is what it is. At least we got out with a smaller loss. I think overall I got out about 10 pip loss, when, you know, in reality it could have been a lot worse than that. I could have had a full stop loss hit at like 15-16 pips. So I'm quite pleased, to be honest, with, you know, getting out with a smaller loss, smaller risk. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I think now we're in a very tricky spot based on where we are now. But I mean, yeah, I think we could see some more upside. We just need to start closing back above our Asian session lows and see if price can continue. I think for any further downside, it's going to be very, very tough. I'd say if we're really looking for further downside, it's probably going to be below 150, to be honest. I think if I get resistance below here, then yeah, I'll be looking to sell it down to, you know, your next 4-hour level, which is over here. But that would be difficult, because that would be the whole daily flipping, and it would be a mad liquidity grab on the daily. You know, if you think about it, if we break below here, if the daily flips, then this whole move up was a big ass liquidity grab. And if we're coming down, then I mean, we're coming downtown. Like, there's no two ways about it, you know. And from a weekly perspective and etc., like, it's not really what we want if we want to see a retest of, you know, higher positions up in the market. So yeah, so I think for this point here, these like short ideas here is very limited, based on the fact that we have a support only 8 pips away. So for me, it makes no sense to take a sell. So yeah, at this point now, I think my trading day will be finished unless we can get some nice buys above 150, 450. Could be a really nice play, and then we'll see. But we'll see. 4 hours coming to a close soon. 4 hours closing back in the range. So yeah, next one should push down to here. I mean, you're gonna get some form of a push there, but I still think in terms of a selling opportunity, I wasn't quite interested in this situation here. It's very, very limited. I don't look at Euro GBP, I'm afraid. Gold, I can take a look at gold quickly. So gold, obviously we were looking for potential sells, resistance, but there's no resistance formed at this point. So I think from a 1 hour point of view, from a 1 hour point of view, you'd be looking for kind of like resistance to form below this kind of like 1730 level, for price to retest this low. But from a 30-minute perspective, this is where it gets a little bit more tricky, because you have this resistance right here, which is going to cause some you have like a previous level of support, which is going to cause aggro. So I mean, if you want to keep it nice and simple, probably a resistance over here on gold is going to make sense to push back down to here. But if we can't create resistance in here, then more than likely we'll push up to that 1 hour zone, meaning we'll come up to there. I'd say if you were looking for buys, it's probably going to be safest above here, and then you've got that clean range on gold there. And then so you basically looking to play from here maybe up to about here for buys to be safe, and then for sells you'd be looking for resistance in here, and then you'd be looking to take that down back to retest this low. If you want to wait for sells because you want to wait for below that 1722 area, which we discussed, then obviously that's going to be your safest option, to make sure that you're in the best possible position, which is going to be below all that traffic to the left, and then you have a nice clean move at that point. Okay, so yeah, I think that's what I think on gold. I mean, right now we've basically tried to create, it's tough because we basically have this like support forming here. So I think if you get like a closure back below this sort of level here, that could make a lot of sense for price to head down. So if this bearish candle does something like this, right, then you could see the next one wicking back up and then driving down. So I think what you would want to see, and what I would want to see to be like pretty safe, is like a resistance forming in this area here on your like 15-minute on your 5-minute time frame, to confirm that okay, whatever low is made here, when you have the pullback, that you're forming more resistance, and then you'll be looking to exceed that and then push down to wherever the next target is, which will be here. So yeah, that's what I think for gold anyway. And pound yen, it's like sticky. Alright then guys, so we're going to finish off there. Drop a like on the stream. I know we've had a losing trade today, but trust me, it's not the be all and end all of trading. The risk management skills was shown, because even though we had price moving into profits, we had price coming back into the range, and we closed out early. We stopped having a full stop loss hit, so that in itself is a good thing in itself, right? So now you just got to make sure that we're taking good entries for the rest of the week. Still got a few days left, so no issues at all. Plus I think overall, like where we're at now with GJ, we're in a very difficult area, because we're in this range where we're having conflicting ideas on the higher time frame. So it's going to be hard, isn't it? Because we're creating lower resistance on your 4 hour again, but also higher levels of support. So I mean, realistically, you're not going to get really great buys until we're above here. So until we're back above 151, 100, we're not really going to get amazing buys. That's going to be the best place to take a buy, because then you're above all of this crap. But I was really expecting us to push up today, but there you go. That's perfectly fine. Okay, cool. So we're going to finish off there. Thanks very much, everyone. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your trading day. If you've already taken a trade, whether it's a win or a loss, either look to call it a day, or say to yourself, what you're going to plan for a potential re-entry, but you want to be careful with that, right? So anyway, thanks very much, everybody. Have a great day. Take care, and we'll see you tomorrow 6:30 a.m. Let's bring on tomorrow. Right, thanks guys, see you later. Thanks guys.